Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. This is Slash coming at you with a Pro Dota commentary of the Dreamhack Dota Invitational Summer 2013. This is Team Empire versus QPAD Red Pandas. As far as I know, this is the first real appearance of QPAD Red Pandas under the leadership of Wagamama and obviously Sing Sing. They have not had any official match so far. So this will be really interesting to see how good they work together and if they improve to a degree and what they have been doing, what they worked up as in strategy wise. Team Empire obviously is a really hard team to beat. They are playing extraordinarily well. They have a good synergy normally and they really have only a few and rare bad games. So, however, we will jump into the ban draft analysis. Now obviously, the current metagame, there is a lot of Nukes Assassin and a lot of Coddle and even Wisp and CK and Sven occasionally see first ban. So naturally QPAD Pandas do ban out Nukes Assassin. Normal response in a lot of games is just the Coddle ban out. Since whoever gets Coddle cannot counter, the other team cannot counter with the Nukes Assassin, because obviously Coddle with his Illuminate is one hell of a beast, one hell of a hero, and it is really hard to play against him because Coddle makes you pay for bad positioning, basically. And the only way currently to really counter him, as in hero-wise, pick-wise, is near Nukes Assassin because of his Spike Carapace, which is his passive, well, active, which you activate and then you stun and deal the same amount. So basically Coddle Illuminate is useless if you're in the same lane, more or less, or really hard to land. And normally then what people do is they just charge a short Coddle Illuminate and then, yeah, just release it immediately so Nukes Assassin can't stun them and deal damage to them. So anyways, since Nukes Assassin is banned out, I was expecting an immediate Coddle ban out too. However, currently it is not banned out yet. First ban of Team Empire was a Wisp, which is not sure why. I don't know if they have researched games of QPAD Red Pandas. Could be because they saw that QPAD Red Pandas has been working on some sort of CK, Sven, Wisp shenanigans, or, you know, yeah, some sort of Wisp global strat. So maybe that's why they first banned it, because normally I see Team Empire pick up the Wisp and a CK, and with that they are just, you know, going insane all over the map and normally are messing up the game plan of the opponents really hard. But whatever. So Wisp ban out, followed by a Bad Rider ban out. Now Bad Rider obviously is still a very strong hero. His lane control is extraordinary well. You can put him almost anywhere and he will do a fairly good job. In mid, obviously there, you know, that's his lane to shine. In the solo lane, off lane, he normally works well too. Even against an sort of, you know, dual lane, he's doing really well too. Against a tri lane, it comes harder for Bad Rider. That's, you know, off lane Bad Rider is sort of hard, but you know, he can manage too. So basically, he's a very versatile ban hero. As we see, pick and ban just going through. So anyways, Panda is being banned out too, so it makes us think that Team Empire does not want QPAD Panda to mess up their game strategy with heroes that can interfere into battles, into their clash ability, which is, you know, Panda obviously, because Panda split, once you get it, you can just, you know, turn it clash around basically. Anyway, so we see QPAD Red Pandas pick up a Shadow Demon first pick, which is, you know, interesting considering that Coddle got through the draft, but maybe they have worked something out to sort of counter it and to have their own game plan, which currently looks like they are trying to go for some sort of semi-push strategy because there is a Chen pickup too. Anyway, so first picks by Team Empire are Keeper of the Light and Darkseer. Now Darkseer is still a very good hero. He's as versatile as, you know, Bad Rider for example. You can put him basically anywhere. You just need to sort of check for a good lane matchup, and you know, the only weakness of Darkseer is maybe like a Rubik Lift and stuns and, you know, really hard disable that make you pay when you search too fast and use your search prematurely. Second and third pick by QPAD Red Pandas, Chen, Kunkka. Kunkka I have not seen a lot recently, but he's always a blast to watch. We will see how they're going to lane this, because Chen obviously is a wood hero, and normally you try to push and force enemies into a, not a bad position, but it's, it's hard to deal with a lot of Chen creeps and with hard push if you don't have Keeper of the Light. However, Team Empire has Keeper of the Light, so I'm not quite sure about this pickup. I mean, we will see how they're gonna do against the Keeper of the Light and the Dark Seer and the Puck, which, all three heroes have creep clearing abilities. Yeah, so we will see. However, the bans, there is a Bane Elemental ban, which is a really strong support at the moment. He is in the meta a lot because he has good control over the clashes. Basically, when you're even, you just make it uneven for the opponents, since you can Nightmare one guy, either set up, some sort of follow-up, or you can just Nightmare a guy and then just, once you have ultimate, Fiend's Grip another guy, and then therefore it's already a 3 versus 2 or some sort of, good overall clash position for yourself, for your team. Responded by a Lone Druid, fairly typical ban, since he's a good offlaner. He's yeah, I'd say he's a good offlaner. However, this is also a hero that Team Empire does use quite a lot, frequently, as far as I'm concerned, but they do use the Bane Elemental a lot, so that was a good ban in my opinion. It was really working well, since that would just be too much with the Puck and a Keeper of the Light. It just makes too much possible in a fight. We see a Phantom Lancer ban, a Nyx ban, which both are in the meta a lot. They're arguably the most frequently used carries currently. Of course, Phantom Lancer has this huge bonus agility, which he gets stat gain wise. Basically a free Eagle Horn, I think, once you're level... Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not quite sure, but it's 4.7 stat gain on agility, so that Eagle Horn should be about 8, 9, 10 levels. Is that right? Oh god, my math. Okay, don't count me on that, but whatever. And then Nyx obviously has gotten a huge buff a while ago, and since then he's been used all the time. Not sure why they banned out Nyx. Well, okay, it makes sense. They banned out Bane Elemental, which currently is one of the few counters to Nyx, since his first skill, which I am lacking the word of right now. Whatever, it does... Oh, I think... Oh, I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure. But he basically reduces the damage output of Nyx, and it sticks through BKB and through Rage, therefore. So that is a good counter for Nyx. So making sure the opponents don't get Nyx makes sense. Prophet ban out, sort of typical. And then we see a Faceless Void pickup. Now that hero we haven't seen a lot currently. It's not being picked up a lot in the metagame. However, it still do... he's still a Faceless Void. If you get good ultimates up, not bad ultimates, like for example recently NTH Sloda has been showing, then it's a fairly strong hero who can control clash as well. So if a Faceless Void has a good initiate, which is risky obviously because he initiates, if he initiates bad he's basically screwed for life, then you can control a good clash, I think, and especially against the Dark Seer, who is, relying on a good vacuum into a wall, and a Puck who normally initiates 2 with a dagger into Dream Coil, possibly 4-man, 5-man if it goes very well. Faceless Void's counter initiate is not bad at all. However, we see an Alchemist pickup on Team Empire. They use that hero quite often. I think I have seen Blow Your Brain play him a lot. So they use him as a carry that, gets his basically 3 Midas more or less working just because of his passive. And he just farms insanely well. So that is interesting because Alchemist, only a few teams use him really. I think Team Empire, Fnatic has used him as a mid also, but more like a utility Alchemist, so getting mechanism and pipe and being super tanky. Not quite sure, I don't remember any other teams using him frequently. But since I'm not completely up to date and I'm not watching every single game out there, I could be wrong. Also guys, please excuse my language barriers because I have been speaking more or less fluently English for a while, but doing this while trying to cast is a whole another sort of story, especially since Dota has obviously a whole set of different words, and it's not like speaking a normal language, an everyday, routine sort of thing. And plus, in addition to that, you might have heard I am German. I live in Germany currently, so I'm not using my, English a lot, except when I, play Dota or pub. Also, I've been playing Dota for about 6-7 years. I'm fairly average. I'm not really good, even though I tried playing in teams and stuff like everybody did. So I thought I'd give it a go with casting. So here we go. Anyway, Clockwork last pickup for QPAD Panda. Now Clockwork has seen some sort of revival 2 or 3 months ago, especially under Team Empire, and I think under Virtus Pro especially. Virtus Pro has used him a lot. And or was it Team Empire? No, I think it was Virtus Pro. And most of the players who play Clockwork offlane don't play him, rocket first and trying to get some vision on the map and getting some CS with a rocket flare. No, what they do is they max, or not max, but they level 1 cogs, and then they block creep wave, let, if possible, the wizard go first, and then just block all 3 other creeps into your cogs, and so therefore the lane is getting pushed into your direction, into your tower immediately, and you always get XP very fast up. So Clockwork has, been used frequently in that kind of way. As we see Visage being picked up right now. Last pick for Empire. Now that puts us probably at a normal lineup, as in Darkseer, offlane / woods, depending on how good QPAD Red Pandas are gonna control their bottom safe lane, in case they're playing a bottom safe lane, which they probably will with a Chen. They could run Chen offensively, but normally it's not what you do, It's not necessarily a way to go, but we will see. Anyways, I will do the quick introduction on Dire side for Empire. Empire, blow your brain / the resistance. I guess he has listened to Muse, or is just resisting against, I don't know, being rebel, who knows. On Alchemist, playing the carry on probably a safe lane. We see Empire, as we see a pause coming out, which is quite handy for me because it takes me a while. Empire 353, I'm not sure who that is. It's definitely not Silent, since Silent is playing the Coddle. 353, wow. Not sure they have a stand in Oppa. I do not know that guy. Scandal is playing the Darkseer on offlane. Yeah, don't know who this guy is. Empire. Well, not the team I'm usually casting or watching, so I'm not 100% sure who 5th and 4th people should be. Whatever. We see Select playing Clockwork. He has been picked up just really recently on QPAD, and well, what can I say? He has been playing StarCraft, so his macro is pretty awesome. Not that it has anything to do with an offlane clock. Singh is playing the Kunkka, who is typically playing the solo mid currently, and who has always been playing the solo mid. Wagamama on the Void carry. His role, definitely his role. We see QPAD GRX, no clue how I'm supposed to pronounce that, but he is the Shadow Demon player. And we see Minchip Mini, so basically just Mini. Mini, you have known him, he has been playing Infused with Wagamama too, so he's on the Chen, which is his hero, which he has been playing a lot. As we see them trying to protect their forest, since, a good way to go is to block just the creep camps off with wards of Chen, because that basically puts him in a bad position, only being able to, maybe farm these 2 creeps bonds if possible, if they, use the magic ward spot here and maybe block off another camp with wards. That just limits Chen's farm in the beginning a lot. But we do not see this happening. Scandal completely without wards, so that's going to be a tough lane for him. He will have to rely on his intuition and map awareness a lot, which is going to be hard since his tri-lane is, not going to be visible at all to him. We see Puck stand in Oppa. Oh, wait, so who was the mid player? Wasn't Silence? No, Silent was not. Well, whatever. So Sing Sing on Kunkka, mid against Puck. Puck should have a slight advantage, however, since today everybody's playing with Bottle Throw, doesn't matter that much if you don't die, so that's just the way it goes currently. We see Coddle basically trying to pull and stack, probably. Yeah, stacking. As we see Visage pulling, controlling the lane more or less. Well, I guess, yeah. They knew that it was coming. Nice. Very nice move. Pulling this wave not stacked, which basically normally gives you a double stack wave for yourself, right? But in this case, yeah, okay, he just, you know, he basically does the same thing with pulling the second camp too. So even though this lane is going to get pushed, or would have been pushed, there's still only one wave coming in. And what Alchemist is doing right now is, you know, is a good move, but it costs him a lot of regeneration. Then again, as soon as he will be level 6, it's no problem. But he basically kept the creep equilibrium. Not sure if it was a good move, since it's a huge wave coming in and it's going to push into the tower anyways, so preventing it from going to the power is not, you know, necessarily winning, I guess. Winning his lane in that way. But yeah. So Clock probably is going to get more on the offensive lane, more experience and probably CS than the Darkseer. As I say this, we see Darkseer going into woods, already having the level 1 camp spawn. This should have been stacked. Maybe it failed. I'm not sure what Coddle was doing. Well, yeah. So anyways, as I do miss First Blood, I missed the gank on mid, which basically was probably a smoke gank by Mini and GRX. Yeah, with the Chen creep, especially with the net creep, there's no chance for a puck because, well, might be a chance, but Shadow Demon into yeah, probably not. Shadow Demon is just a good setup for Kunkka Torrent, and then after that it's normally already pretty much over. So anyways, this gives Shadow Demon a quick level 2, almost level 3 actually, and even Chen is getting some good XP out of this and is already level 3, so going really well for QPAD right now. If I guess I could show the XP graph, which is, yeah, you know, it's working well for Raiden right now, obviously because Darkseer tried to be on offlane for a bit, but then gave up on it, and so he has to catch up with farm. As we can see right now, yeah, DS, so Darkseer is only sitting at 10 CS, while Generate is at 13 plus the gold and experience from the first kill on mid lane. So I guess this is a nice opening for Sing Sing. He will be able to sort of control this lane, landing some slashes, and he probably will be maxing, yep, maxing Tidebringer because it's just a good lane control. Even though it pushes the lane, it secures you at least a bit harass, even though you're melee and you're getting good denies in, because you can use the cleave to deny and you're getting obviously the CS. As we see Wagomama just farming it away, he's 23 for 9, controlling the lane pretty well. It has been at this tower constantly for the past 4 minutes, so we'll see if he's going to go for a Midas. He already is at 1.4k gold, so basically, you know, not a lot missing for this Midas. Probably going to go it, we'll see, once he will reach the 2k gold. Select is doing a fairly good job. He's getting a lot of XP. I'd say he is actually in front of Darkseer's current XP pool, as Darkseer has made his way back into bottom lane. Now he's getting some XP, which is really good for him because he's catching up with Select, and Select, you know, he's level 4.5. Darkseer is going to get there now. Alchemist 600, having boots in his inventory, you know, 21 CS is not bad, especially with his passive. It just increases his amount of gold by so much. It's basically like a Midas from the start when you get gold if you go into passive level 1, which normally pro players don't necessarily do depending on the lane. Since Corporal has been on the lane, I guess he leveled stun once. Yeah, we'll see. Visage doing some polling. He will probably be looking to go for, you know, standard build on Visage is either trying to go for the mechanism, but normally mechanism, you know, in this case it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be provided by Coddle. It should be provided by Coddle. And so Visage normally would go for probably for Medallion of Courage, because it makes you tanky as a Visage. It makes you more useful in a clash because you can focus down with that active, that armor reduction of Medallion of Courage. It just increases your damage output basically and gives you good focus in teamfight. And also you can rosh really fast, really early in you know, minute 10 can already go into Roshan Pit or something. We'll see what they will do. Now they don't have that much tanky heroes, but you know, it might be possible. We will see. So currently mid lane is sort of, you know, it's even. Kunkka is obviously denying as much as Puck, you know, 80 nice, 70 nice, which puts us As we see, Caudle being out of position, going down to Ursa Clap to one disruption and amplification, and probably a nuke of Chen. Yep. Sorry for missing that, guys. I still have to get used to checking the minimap regularly, checking if there's action. As we see stun being channeled by Alchemist. Are they going to go for the kill? Yeah, they're going to dive this. There's a nuke from Visage, which really is really powerful, and they get the kill on Clockwork Select. Shadow Demon, however, is having a double damage and trying to make something work, and Chen cycled in, trying to get a kill, but definitely did not work out against the Visage. Visage just has this powerful nuke when he has some sort of damage in his lane, no matter to him or to foes or to opponents, you know, to his teammates. It just triggers, it channels all those 5, you know, depending on level obviously, but it channels his nuke, I guess, whatever it's called, soul suction. Okay, yeah. So I'm obviously still a bit shaky on calling immediately the abilities, since, you know, even when you play Dota for a long while, it's just play by play. It's not my strength, I guess. Anyhow, so yeah, Kunkka, as I was saying, is sitting definitely in front of Puck in this lane, since he has, you know, even though it's more or less sort of fairly even, he's still melee, so he has an advantage against Puck. Puck's denies hurt him a lot, and Puck died once, so therefore, you know, yeah, makes sense, right? So yeah, Puck is level 6, almost level 7, while Sing Sing is almost level 8, 7.5 right now to be precise, so this is going really well for them. And as we see, different XP earned, it's actually dipping towards Dire, which might be explained by the last 2 kills from Dire, giving them, yeah, it more or less works out, I suppose. And I think in that moment also Chen was still retreating from that 1 kill, so he wasn't farming woods, and Shadow Demon was not doing a lot, so they got ahead in XP and in gold, apparently. Okay. Even though it's dipping back, so, you know, Chen is still a better wood hero than anything on the Dire side, except for Darkseer, but Darkseer is still trying to get his levels up, which he's doing a fairly good job right now. He's level 6. Select has not reached level 6 yet, but will do so immediately with this creep wave coming into his tower. However, he will probably not be able to def this. Maybe Rocket Flare pulls out aggro. Nope. Not necessary, I guess. As we see another smoke gang coming in by Chen and Shadow Demon. Finally, I'm not missing it. However, it dispels. He's having the disruption on the Caudle. Caudle also soul amplified because there's no other creep in there, and it's just so much damage. Holy crap. Nuke by Chen just pops him immediately. Man. So, build of Shadow Demon. I like this build. Soul Catcher. You know, maxing it. Obviously, amplified damage. Getting up to 50%. He's probably gonna, well, we'll see if he will max it completely. I see two types of Shadow Demons currently. One is the one who's maxing his Soul Catcher completely, and one is the one who's actually just putting 1 or 2 levels in the Soul Catcher, 1 level in Disruption obviously, and then maxing his Shadow Poison just because it stacks and does so much damage in a long team fight. And again, you know, in the beginning you don't see a lot of long team fights normally, so yeah. Puck is looking to get his dagger as fast as possible. We will see if this will work. Currently he's having some slight issues in mid, like Kunkka's already at 43 to 12 and Puck is only at 35 to 8, so not having the best of best times, but however he's controlling the runes, I'd say a bit better because he had the bottle charged up right now, but who knows. And then again, doesn't really matter. As we see this Darkseer being in a bad position, there is the trap by Dark Troll Warlord, however nothing gonna happen afterwards. Ensnare it's called, I guess. But yeah, we see Wagamama having his Midas up already, his Treads up already, 200 in the bank. Nothing on the chicken as far as I'm concerned. Nope. Whoa. Okay, nope. Nothing on the chicken. We see Call doing some dewarding. Obviously, he definitely wants a sentry up here on this lane. Oh god. As his deward is not gonna... Ooh. Not being able to deward completely. Now let's see if Chen has some sentry wards here. Yes, he does. So this ward is going to get counter ward, and after that this ward is gone. Yes, there we go. Nice counter warding. Basically, this observer is surviving barely, but it is surviving. This Cobble might almost be in trouble. Nope, Darkseer is there to back him up, and he dewards immediately. He still is able to deward. Interesting move. Where did that sentry come from? Did they take so long to destroy him? Okay, not sure what happened there. Really not sure what happened there. But yeah. Top tower not being pressured by Clockwork, just pushing in. And I guess Alchemist is just not caring about it because he's farming his stacks. Now that's obviously what you want to do. I mean, you can obviously just farm it yourself as a Coddle, but what you want to do as teammates, if you don't have anything to do right now as a support, you try to stack as much as possible, because if you can't achieve anything in lane, stack pulling, not that efficient, rather give the whole farm to your, as we see, initiate by a long range hook by Clockwork, and the torrent followed up right away with the cock. Well, that was just well played by Select. Good initiate, Kunkka getting the kill. So Kunkka really getting some farm up. That's really, really good for Raiden right now, because mid lane is working out very well, bottom lane obviously is working really well, and the roam gangs from QPAD Red Dragons is working as well. However, do not count Alchemist out, because he has been farming a few stacks and he has his Goblin's Greed. Grievel's Greed, Jesus, why did they rename it? Okay, Grievel's Greed. He has his Grievel's Greed, already level 3, so therefore, you know, he's getting some good gold in there. He doesn't even need Hand of Midas, and already had 3k gold in just right now, and sitting at 73 CS. That is huge. 73 CS plus the bonus gold coming in from Grievel's Greed puts him already at a face boots, normal magic 1 and the Shadow Blade. Interesting, opting for Shadow Blade, not the worst thing. Good initiate, I suppose, gives him some attack speed, which stacks up with his ultimate by a lot. I mean, obviously he gets a smaller base attack time, which then with the attack speed bonus and the damage bonus just increases his damage output by a lot. As we see, Dream Coil pop only for 1 Kunkka, and we see Ship being immediately dispatched by Kunkka, which makes him basically survive that gank, and it's getting counter ganked by the Select with the Clockwork being on spot, being there with ultimate. However, that Visage nuke with the Medallion of Courage and a few auto attacks of Puck just doing a lot of damage, and he goes down too. However, nice counter gank. Kunkka survives, which is, you know, a main thing, because, you know, he's a semi-carry in mid, surviving, being 2-0. Fairly impressive, to be honest. Puck having almost no chance right now. He's not even close to his dagger right now. But Sing Sing already close. Actually, what is Sing Sing? Nope, just bottle crowing like a boss. Okay, I see. Sitting at 73 CS, very nice, very nice. As I miss a kill in Darkseer, being out of position, probably just a disruption into Soul Catcher, or not even just the ultimate. Did he pop an ultimate? Yeah, just an ultimate. Treads damage, and that's about it with Soul Catcher. As we see another pause going on. Currently, I'd say late game wise, I think QPAD Panda made sure they have an option out. I mean, sure they have a Chen, but Chen is being used as a ganker right now. He's not even pushing a lot. I mean, as you can see, this is minute 12, and the only tower gone is right now top tower, which is very impressive, because normally in pro games at this point there's already a lot of other towers falling, because it's just easy gold and the meta is really fast paced, and they're, you know, if you kill one, normally it gets punished and you just take the tower. However, in this game we see Chen not being you know, that sort of pushy hero. He's rather the ganking sort of, you know, making sure that mid lane and bottom lane is working well, and he's doing a good job. He almost has, well, not almost, but Urea has a third of his mechanism up right now. Hedra's already in the shop with another Smoke of Deceit and 400 in bank. So not a bad game of Mini right now. I'd say QPAD is definitely in the lead right now, and also has the option of going late game, because they have more semi-carries in my opinion. I mean, sure, there's the Alchemist on the side of Empire, but Alchemist, how is Alchemist gonna outfarm a Kunkka and a freaking, you know, Void? Void sitting at 86 CS. I mean, sure, he's not leading the CS board right now, as we can see, Alchemist is leading it, but he has Midas and he has a really good farm, and, you know, Void is pretty powerful. And what is your Alchemist gonna do when Void initiates and gets a 4-man Chronosphere, or even 3-man Chronosphere, focusing the right guys, and, you know, Alchemist is not gonna do anything. He will, you know, Alchemist also is really reliable on his ultimate. I mean, sure, Void is too, but Alchemist just goes down without popping his ultimate. There is no chance he will survive a good initiate by a Void. Anyway, as we see, currently not a lot happening right now. Mid lane is sort of being flash farmed by Coddle and the Puck, which basically is just, I guess, Puck being in mid lane and Coddle sort of moon scouting, helping him to sort of hold the lane, and maybe porting in a teammate when they make him, when they have to have a defensive goal. As we see Kunkka picking up Shadowblade, which is fairly standard. Shadowblade has seen sort of a revival on the pro scene, which is, I think it's quite interesting to see, because there was a time when Shadowblade was not counted as a good item for most heroes, but currently you see Kunkka getting it, you see Alchemist getting it, sometimes you even see, well, you see all sorts of heroes getting it, to be quite honest. As we see Darkseer just porting out after a disruption, not even a real gank, just some harass from Shadow Demon, so he's really scared of Wagamama and his ultimate, which is currently on mana CD basically. Yep, but there is a South and mana, so he's gonna be up and kicking, alive and kicking soon again. As we just see, this is sort of... I wouldn't say this is a fairly standard game, because right now, I mean, we have Visage, who was used to be a king of Triland and just trying to search for clashes and getting his nukes up 2 or 3 times in a clash and just dealing insane amount of damage. But I suppose Empire is having a different game plan right now. Obviously the mechanism is playing a huge role, which is actually gonna be put together by Darkseer. Very interesting indeed. We have the medallion up on Visage. He's probably gonna go for Aghanim Scepter, which gives him some control over 3 overall. This small little vampire dudes. What is this? Okay, familiar. Not sure if I like that choice, because it's still Aghanim Scepter. But yeah. I'm sorry for the lags, it's just a recording program sometimes glitching out on me, even though my computer is super strong. Really surprising that Coddle is not going for a mechanism. I guess he's not farming enough right now and just making sure the stacks are up and stuff. Or just farming himself. I don't even know actually what Coddle is doing. I don't feel like Coddle has been very effective currently. Normally what Coddle does is, he's just there when there's a lane, when there's a lot of people around, and just deals this insane amount of damage out with Illuminate, hitting 2-3 men, therefore dealing 300 damage times 3, so basically 900 damage, which is a huge deal already, especially in early game. But in this game, I feel like QPAD Red Pandas, just gonna name him QPanda right now, I guess. As QPanda has done a really good job in drafting. I mean, drafting wise, this Coddle is out of game right now. I don't see him doing a lot, and I suppose it's just the way the drafts worked for QPanda, because I mean, Clockwork offlane, yeah, he's fine. She got his tower pushed, sure, but now he's able to farm once in a while, get some XP and just gank, and he did a really good job so far. I think he's sitting at, what is he sitting at? I was saying, what, 2, no? 1, 2, and 1. So, he has done his, well, okay, yeah, 1, 2, and 1 is not extraordinarily well, but it's, it's fine for Clockwork offlane. He had his initiates as he's looking again for another one. We'll see what's gonna happen. He just goes in right now, Bows. First thing ahead, Alchemist does pop his Shadowblade and his ultimate. Now obviously there is the Void. If he would have ulted, he would have had a good ultimate. You were able to see that Blink Dagger is finally up on Puck, so this might change clashes around a little bit, because he's able to escape a lot and being very mobile and everything. However, this Alchemist, at the end of his... Dead Alchemist, as I said. There is Hand of God, which is basically saving Select right there. He was going down, but nope. 10 on top of his shit, and this Illuminate coming way too late. Did no damage. Yeah, not a game of a Coddle, I'd say. And there you saw this is a choke point, more or less. Really narrow passage here. And what happens? Basically, Void Ultimate locks you up. Bad positioning after that. You're cut up from your teammates who are caught in the Chronosphere, and you can do almost jack shit about it. Or nothing about it, I guess. There's something happened right here. I don't know why, but for some reason my Master Volume just decided to go. Not sure what has happened. Let me just check my... Okay. Oh! Might be because of Roche. Might be because of Roche, I'm not sure. Suddenly music just went way above what it should be. So yeah. What do you do when you're behind? Yeah, you go Roche. However, Radiant does know what's up, and they say, oh god guys, we're just gonna torrent you and just huge mother effing boat in your face. Oh god. No Chronosphere up for Void, but he just goes in anyways regardless and kills. There's still a Hand of God up. Should be. Nope, no Hand of God up. But he sends him back, Void being safe. Oh, huge play by Chen, even though Chen is not even going down. Illuminate misses Chen and Select. Wow. Bad fight for... This fight went as bad as it could go for Dire side. I mean, yes, they got the Aegis, but what did they do with it? Nothing. They lost it immediately and lost 3 people. Not how you wanted to go, I guess. Yep. Nothing gonna happen to his Alchemist. Alchemist gonna return to farming, probably just simply the Ancients or his lane. We'll see. Yep, he should stack. He's stacking. Okay. So as we see, Asilcure is probably coming up for this Alchemist, just making him very tankable and increasing his base rate attack damage just by base attack rate. Yeah, basic attack rate. Just increasing it by a lot, and once more just giving him huge damage output. So let's do some item checks. Let me see. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we see Mechanism up on Chen, which is fairly decent, fairly standard. Minute 20 with Arcanes is okay. All good. Shadow Blade and Haste Boots on Sing Sing with the Drum of Endurance, which is obviously a good utility item for clashes. And we see Vagomama with a Maelstrom. I like that choice. Really, very good choice in my opinion, because it does, you know, when it procs it does more damage. Also increase the attack speed, which is what he's looking for, because he's going to land those Chronospheres. Or he's betting on it, I suppose. Hand of Might is doing its job now. It's starting to get into effect, because the longer the game progresses, the more it actually pays off. Shadow Demon looking sort of poor right now, to be quite honest, but you know, he's being warpaged, so it's fine. Sorry, pardon. Visage Medallion, not really progressing right now, nothing in the stash. We have seen this item set for a while now on him. As we see Puck getting his Blink Dagger up. I know I was probably minute like 17, which is not the best. I'd say not the best, but it's still fine. It's not too bad, I suppose, as long as he makes it count now. Yeah, and last but not least, there's Alchemist building toward it. AC already played Mill in the stash, just missing another approximate 2k gold, well 1.8 gold I guess. 1.8k gold. Caudal opting for the Force Staff. I guess it makes sense since there are 2 melee heroes on Radiant side. However, you cannot force out of a Chronosphere anymore, so I'm not quite sure if it's the best choice. But you can force out of a Clockwork Initiate, I suppose, out of Cogs, which is a good item, I suppose. Yeah, not bad. I like the thinking. Since Darkseer can provide the mechanism really fast and already has it up and going with the Soul Ring, obviously. We'll see if you will get a pipe in addition. Most likely, we'll see. As we see already, Javelin completed completely on the Wagamama, so therefore opting for MKB. MKB, well, good item. True hits, a lot of damage output. It's fine. Not quite sure why he's not completing his Mjolnir though. Mjolnir, I guess, from Maelstrom, because that would be what I would be, you know, trying to do. As we see, mid tower finally going down, minute 22. Man, and we still have a lot of outer tier towers standing. We have 1 Radiant outer tier tower and 3 Dire outer tier towers. So really, what QPAD is having to do, I guess, is starting to take those towers, and they are right now gathering up bottom and trying to group huddle with Wildkins, you know, having a good old party. Waiting for that Wagamama ultimate, which is on CD, so therefore there is an ultimate. Well, we'll see. Are they still going to force it? Yeah, they're going to force it. They're going to try to take the tower. Tower is still very full HP though. And against the Caudal Illuminate? Not a chance. So here, that's what I'm talking about. That's at least something Caudal can do. He can def those towers, and I guess that's what he has been doing for the past 23 minutes. Besides farming his Force Staff, I suppose. Well, I'm not quite sure, as I see my Dota freezing once again. I'm not quite sure. This must be because I'm saving it to a hard drive, external hard drive. Not sure what Preps is doing, but yeah. No matter what, we see Blow Your Brain charging in, not finding anybody in there, presenting himself. Pretty sure something's gonna happen soon on bottom. I hope Wagamama has a TP. Nope, no TP on Wagamama. Don't think that Radiant is gonna force this, so probably Dire is gonna get the next tower, we'll see. Wagamama is coming down right now. He already used one of his jumps, not a lot of mana left for his ultimate in 20 seconds. But we see a good ship initiate on Blow Your Brain. Blow Your Brain already down. Darkseer popping his wall, no vacuum into wall though, no real effect I guess from Darkseer. Not even helping, you know, with his mechanism at all. Cuddle going down immediately. So Wagamama made his whole way down there basically for nothing. Well, I guess he's gonna kill Visage. Okay, good job. Yeah, not sure. This is not looking great for Empire right now. Yeah, they have the tower invention. They had some gold invention in the beginning. Or did they? Yes, they did. But what did they do with it? Not a lot. They didn't kill a lot of people. They got killed more or less. Now the first tower for Radiant. Or Radiant takes this first tower, I suppose, which is giving them some cash flow right now. In addition to their good farm. I mean, we see the difference in gold was already, you know, in favor of Radiant. Now it's gonna be probably worth 2k more or less after the tower ends the fight. XP is just huge, that XP difference. I mean, sure, it's also because of Midas and because of the jungling hero that's just, you know, better jungler farmer than a Coddle. But honestly, 10k is a lot of XP difference earned, even though, you know, jungle creeps do count for some XP and everything. Yeah, I guess what it comes down to right now is that Coddle has not been able to do a lot in this game, especially in the early laning phase. Clockwork had a fairly decent time, didn't get ganked a lot. I think he only died in team fights, he didn't die on his lane, which is really, really good. As we see right now, Sing Sing looking for blood. He hadn't... Oh my god, this Alchemist is dead. There's no chance. Where's the soul? Yeah, there's the soul catcher. You know, he pops his ultimate and is trying to die. Yep, nope, no chance. Sing Sing's damage output is already way too high with the Crystallis sitting on his item slot too, so, you know, critting for it, as we see Puck only having Threats and Dagger right now. Wagamama sitting at his Maelstrom and MKB, looking to force top tower right now, as we see Mini not being in position for it, but I guess they don't even need Mini. Chen doing a good job in this game, really, I like it. We didn't even push a lot, but he ganked, he made it count. Sitting at 215, which is, you know, as good as it gets for Chen. Visage on the other hand, trying to do more or less the same and even sitting at 4 and 2. Having, you know, roughly, yeah, he's having roughly 800 gold left. He has 800 gold left for his Aghanims, but is Aghanims going to change this game? I don't think so. I don't think the familiars are going to be able to change a lot on this whole game plan of Radiant, as we see Clockwork basically completing his pipe right now, which is gonna help him a lot too against Visage nukes, against Puck, against Coddle, against, you know, basically everything on the dire side except for the physical damage output of Alchemist and Darkseer's I guess illusions damaging wall, okay, whatever. Sing Sing, huge, 6-0 and 6, and Wagamama is sitting at 6-0 and 2. That's just grand for them. As we see, last hit wise, Void already spiraled out of control, definitely. As we see Alchemist, nope, Coddle being initiated. There we see his Force Death coming into play, which is not bad and helping him, I guess, to escape. Not necessarily turning around this fight. Oh yes, this is a turnaround. Clockwork being vacuumed up on the high ground. However, there is the supply ship coming from Kunkka. But they do not commit. Kunkka does not commit. So I guess, actually they do commit. Sending him back. Late call. They were really hesitated on going. They might have been able to send him back really fast if they just would have gone in with Mechanism and Hand of God immediately. But that was like, I guess they weren't able. Probably didn't call it. And didn't really take the chance. Which is, I guess, okay, playing it safe, not getting caught on a back foot more or less, and, you know, if you don't control the fight from the beginning, then better not take it, I suppose. Yeah, however, we see a Soul Curious being completed now by Alchemist, as we see the gold difference graph dipping slowly towards Dire again, which is, you know, not really a huge deal because it's still sitting at 5k right now, but Anyways, a C done on Blow Your Brain. Interesting, it doesn't show. Okay, recipe doesn't show, doesn't matter though. Done with his AC, has his Shadow Blade. We will see what he's going next for. Probably I think he's gonna go for Majonia afterwards. Probably not gonna happen because he doesn't need more attack speed in my opinion. He needs some tankiness, he needs to buff up. Possibly looking at a HOT, possibly looking... Yeah, I'd say probably HOT. I mean, I don't see any other items right now that are gonna suit Majonia, I guess. Oh yeah. Anyways, not a huge item progression right now. Darkseer building up towards his Arcanine Scepter. I guess they're trying to bank on that last hope. Puck is not getting anywhere. Puck is level 13, it's lower level than Blow Your Brain. I guess it's a stand, so it might be, you know, might be the explanation for it, but still poor middle lane, I suppose. Yes, Dagger is all that Puck needs, but you also expect to build up the cheap, which he's now going towards. He has his ultimate orb now picked up. Let's see how much gold he has. No gold more. So this is a blank ultimate orb right now. Not sitting too strong, I guess. Wagamama already picking up his Eagle Song, so he's probably gonna look for that butterfly. Yeah, overall, crit up completely. Daedalus is up on Kunkka. Aegis up on... yeah, sorry for missing that Roche fight. Aegis up on Wagamama now. This looks really tough. We even have Vladimir's up on Chen. Chen is being, wow, he's supporting this like no other. He just lets Shadow Demon Ward Bitch like a boss, and the rest just coming out for Wagamama and Kunkka, which really, this Vladimir's benefits both of them. Both melee carries, both can... Is he gonna charge him with the Chronosphere? Yep, Chronosphere on. Oh, Blow Your Brain. So basically their only carry already out of the fight immediately. Good initiate. Hand of Rod popping before Kunkka is safe disrupted. As we see Visage getting caught up by Cox, going down to Clockwork most likely. We saw a buyback of Alchemist and a really bad port into the middle of the Radiant team fight. Not sure what that was about. Sing going down to Caudal Illuminate, nice Illuminate right there. Also Aegis is popping from Wagamama. Not sure if there's no follow-up. So I guess the only thing that happened here, Kunkka went down, a buyback of Alchemist, and so basically Alchemist went down twice. Yep. Alchemist buying back, Visage went down, and yeah, that's about it. But still, good fight for Radiant. Even though with the Aegis, I thought they might get a clearer outcome because Kunkka went down. I mean, yeah, 2 times Alchemist, but Alchemist didn't do a lot in this fight. He got initiated, got brought down without doing anything, and then he ported into the tower and got, you know, brought down immediately in addition to, so didn't really do a lot of damage. He didn't, you know, help at all in teamfight. So normally I thought, or you would think that there's not so much damage output of the of Empire, but apparently there was enough to bring down Kunkka and Void taking his Aegis. So Void is back to farming, which is fine. He has Butterfly up now. So yeah, we are in need of an MKB on Alchemist, I guess. Not sure if he will be able to get it up though before this game ends. I think this is in the hands of QPAD, really. I mean, 27 right now. Alchemist still trying to farm whatever he can. He has 177 CS, which is huge on, or with the Greedling Screed, but still not going to count for 2 carries and a good stacked support and a Clockwork who's doing his job with his pipe and initiating. Visage has his ultimate scepter up, but I still think this is not the item he needed. Really not. You know, Visage is really risky. He's good when there's damage, as we see an ultimate for 1 man, and we see Visage walking into it. I'm not sure if this ultimate was worth it. I guess Darkseer taking him out before he drops the wall with his Aghanim Scepter, which he had up. Yeah, I guess it's worth it. No mechanism for Empire 2, so nice pickup, I guess. Nice clutch play from Wagamama, just taking out the one hero that was out of position and forcing out a GG. Well played already after 33 minutes. Go next. Yep, this is a best of 2, as you just saw. QPAD going up against Empire again next game with the 1-0 lead. We'll see if QPAD is going to be able to take this in a convincing 2-0, or if we will go into a 3rd game. I think Empire will be playing, will giving it their all. I mean, this is Dreamhack Summer Invitational, everyone wants to go there. Yeah, we will see. I will obviously cast game number 2, so stay tuned if you wanna know how it went. and I will bring to you game number 2. Thanks for tuning in case you're watching my YouTube channel right now. This is great news to see people doing that. Yes, this is my first cast since a while, and I haven't been casting a lot anyways, so bear with me or not. And I'm always up for suggestions, so just send me a private message. I'll read it, I'll respond. Thanks for everything, and see you.